What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another holiday music reaction, and we're back to hear a 40 years version of Christmas Time Is Here from the Charlie Brown Christmas, which is to say, this CD came out in 2008. I don't know how it ended up in my collection. It might have been a donation from my parents because they had a bunch of holiday music that I think they sort of weeded out and, gave out to either me or my sister or my brother. Either way, this is from 2008, and we're going to listen to an updated version of Christmas Time Is Here. And as I mentioned in my reaction to the original version of that by the Vince Guaraldi Trio, that this redone CD has updated covers of all the tunes from the soundtrack from different folks. I do like in this booklet for the 2008 CD, you get this image with Charles and Linus looking very like 1930s Newsies or something like that. So yeah, shout out again to Charlie Brown, which I definitely watched growing up. Oh, and then also we have Sally, Lucy, Snoopy, and the tree on the inside. But yeah, the version that we're going to listen to of Christmas Time Is Here is by Brian McKnight. Now, that's a name that sounds familiar. I feel like I've seen or read that name somewhere, but I don't have any context for it. I don't remember, what type of singer he is. If I had to guess, I would say maybe R&B. For some reason, that's in my head, but that could be completely wrong. Either way, I'm looking forward to hearing it. There's other artists on here that I do recognize, and they are sort of in the R&B world, which is to say we have Vanessa Williams, we have Toni Braxton, anyone else I recognize? Shaka Khan does the Christmas song. But yeah, there's a couple people on here that make me wonder if Brian McKnight might not be in a similar genre. Either way, it's a name I'm vaguely familiar with, but I can't think of who he is in the moment. So let's hear it. This is from 2008. It's an updated edition of the soundtrack to A Charlie Brown Christmas, and we're going to hear Christmas Time Is Here as performed by Brian McKnight. Very true to the original sonically.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for the children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year.
That electric guitar.
happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year, Christmas time. I said Christmas time, Christmas time is here.
The organ. I like the sort of take it home kind of conclusion to that. In particular, that guitar. The guitar is reminding me, there's a number of the classic Nat King Cole Christmas carols where there's this lazy, soulful electric guitar just, providing the perfect accompaniment. The Christmas song, you hear it on his version of that. The guitar in this one, it made me think of that. So, sonically, very much in the same territory as the original, perhaps a bit more flourishy, like the little melodic runs on the piano, some of the moments with the guitar and the organ near the end, they were in the same vein as the original, but with a bit more pizzazz, a bit more flourish. But yeah, I love his delivery, very low, like down in the basement of his vocal delivery, or at least of the, like range where you would expect to hear this song. I don't know, maybe he goes super high in his normal tracks. And in fact, I'm going to look him up in a second on Discogs while I'm still on camera. And the other thing I want to do is try to remember what year the Oleta Adams Christmas album came out, because I think it was like 07. I feel like it's right around the same time. And her treatment of this track was very similar in that it took the jazzy original and just kind of, gave it a bit more of the soulful jazzy touch that, she's been doing on her first couple albums that I've been going through. So, yeah, it feels like this was maybe from a very similar time. Let me try to check very quickly. Okay, so the Oleta Christmas album, Christmas Time with Oleta, which is where? Why don't I see it in here? Didn't I just download that? Well, for some reason I'm not seeing it here. It's 06. Okay, so yeah, it's 06. Why was that not in there? I'm so confused. My music computer is a mess. I guess that's what happens over a year and a half when you're constantly putting more music on here and moving things around. Sometimes things disappear on you. But either way, yeah, it's from 06. So this is indeed only a couple years later, and it feels like the same sort of respectful treatment. But yeah, I did love the jazzy flourishes. I liked the way he approached the vocals. It felt like the final part of the tune, he came in with a bit more vocal power. Not, blowing the doors open or anything like that, but definitely felt like he took it to a slightly, a half step above where he had delivered the first part of the song. So let's look him up and see if I'm right about him maybe being in the R&B, soul sort of territory. Good old Wikipedia will give us. Okay, so Brian McKnight, R&B artist. There you go. Born in Buffalo, former husband of Julie McKnight. Who's Julie McKnight? Julie McKnight is a house vocalist. Interesting. But yeah, so apparently he's in a group, or he was in a relief project, Artists and Friends for Hurricane Relief, shout out to that. But yeah, so he's got a number of albums here, starting in 1992, going right up until 2020, seems to be his most recent one, so presumably still recording. And yeah, definitely looking a little more, kind of gray-haired and wise, let's say, in more recent album covers. But yeah, shout out to him. I really like the way he did this, and let's see what time Oh, dude, okay, so that makes sense. He made an entire Christmas album himself the same year that this came out, and Christmas Time is Here. Is it on there? It's not. So apparently he was doing a lot of Christmas stuff at this time, including for his own catalog. So yeah, maybe we'll have to get my hands on a copy of that for next year. So I'll look forward to that. Shout out to Brian McKnight. Shout out to Kim again for sending me the original soundtrack to the Charlie Brown Christmas right at a time when I found this disc. It's the second or third time in recent weeks where she sent me something that fits so well with something I'm about to do or something that I just discovered and so on. So yeah, big shout out to you. Merry Christmas to all. Let me know what you think of this performance. I will see you next time. Peace.